In today's video, we dive deep into the world of Milena, the silent struggle, a powerful and gripping story of resilience, identity, and the battle against a judgmental society. From the quiet streets of a town steeped in secrets to the fierce determination of Milena, a woman ready to reclaim her life, this is a tale that will resonate with anyone who has ever faced adversity. Milena's journey is one of courage, sacrifice, and survival. Will she rise above the expectations placed upon her, or will the weight of the world hold her down? Get ready for an unforgettable ride as we explore the triumphs and tribulations that shape her fate. This is more than just a movie, it's a mirror to our own world. So sit back, relax, and join me as we unravel the story of Milena. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and share this video. Now, let's get started with Milena, the silent struggle. The movie begins with a nostalgic look at the characters riding around on bicycles in the town. The boys seem to be having fun, enjoying the simplicity of their lives. The atmosphere is playful, but there's also a sense of anticipation in the air. As they ride, the town's residents gather on the streets, listening to an announcement over loudspeaker. The announcement informs everyone that Italy has declared war on France, signaling the start of a major disaster. This sets the stage for the unfolding drama. As the protagonist reaches his friends, they all express excitement about his new bicycle. The group is in high spirits, but things quickly change when one of the boys mentions that a special girl is coming. The entire group is intrigued, wondering who this girl could be. Moments later, the most beautiful woman in town, Milena, walks past them. The boys are instantly captivated by her presence. The protagonist, seeing her for the first time, feels a rush of emotions and falls in love at first sight. Following this moment, the protagonist and his friends can't take their eyes off Milena. They continue to follow her as she walks, caught up in the excitement of their youth and infatuation. Despite their best efforts to keep a distance, they can't help but be drawn to her. Their obsession grows stronger with every glimpse of Milena. One day, after school, the protagonist finds himself outside Milena's house. He sits on the other side of the street, hoping for just one more look at her. When she opens the door and steps outside, she calls him over. Nervously, he walks up to her, and she asks him to fetch her a cigarette. As he does so, their brief interaction brings him an intense feeling of closeness. But just as quickly, the moment is over. He wakes up from this dreamlike state, realizing that everything he had imagined was just a fantasy. As time progresses, we see that the protagonist's obsession with Milena grows stronger. Despite being aware of the ongoing strikes and social issues in the town, he continues to be consumed by his infatuation. Meanwhile, there is a shift in the town's dynamics, with people becoming more aware of the changes brought on by the war. In one instance, we observe the protagonist, deeply in love with Milena, ignoring the reality of the situation. He's so infatuated with her that he turns a blind eye to the struggles around him. The town's gossip begins to spread, and it becomes apparent that Milena is not only desired by many but also the subject of intense scrutiny. That night, the protagonist climbs a tree outside Milena's house, peeking through a small opening in her window. He watches her as she changes into a nightdress and begins to dance while holding a photograph of her late husband. The protagonist, mesmerized by the sight, is completely captivated by her, his emotions running wild with desire. The following day, we see the protagonist purchasing the same music he had heard the night before from Milena's house. He listens to it in his room, alone, as his obsession continues to consume him. He attempts to relive that magical moment in his mind, but as the days pass, he becomes more obsessive. Curious to learn more about Milena's routine, the protagonist begins following her. He tracks her every move, desperate to uncover where she goes and what she does. This leads him to observe that the entire town seems to be fascinated with her, and he realizes that every boy in town is trying to win her attention. However, the girls of the town hold a different view. They despise Milena's charm, fearing that their own boyfriends or husbands might fall for her allure. As the protagonist's pursuit continues, he finally follows Milena to a location he never expected. It's her father's house. He learns that Milena's father is a teacher at the local school, and despite his age, he still holds significant influence over the town. This realization marks a turning point for the protagonist, as he comes to terms with the complexity of Milena's life and her place in the community. Meanwhile, back in the town, a group of government officials and the public gather to honor those who have been martyred in the war. Among them is Milena's husband, who is revealed to have been one of the fallen soldiers. This revelation shakes the protagonist further, making him realize that Milena is more than just an object of his affection. She's a woman carrying deep emotional scars. The protagonist's behavior becomes increasingly problematic, and it doesn't go unnoticed by his friend, who are thoroughly disturbed by his action. Feeling alienated, he leaves, but it's clear that his obsession continues. He eventually heads to Fisa's house, where he sneaks inside. There, he finds Milena grieving for her late husband. As she cries, he approaches her, wipes her tears, and, in an impulsive moment, kisses her, vowing to protect her when he grows up. However, this fleeting moment is quickly shattered, and he wakes up to realize it was all just a dream. Days later, the protagonist visits a restaurant and spies on Milena, who is drying her clothes outside. He discreetly takes one of her garments and, later that night, wraps himself in it, losing himself in thoughts of her. This proves to be his biggest mistake. The next morning, when his parents discover the situation, they become furious, and he is locked in his room as punishment. The summer heat sets in, and tensions rise in the household. The protagonist's family becomes more concerned as his behavior spirals out of control. One day, he stops eating, and his health deteriorates. A doctor is called to check on him, and advises that he just needs fresh air to recover. Reluctantly, his parents release him from confinement. That evening, the protagonist climbs a tree outside Milena's house to watch her. He sees a shocking sight. Milena is in a relationship with a government officer. After a brief encounter, the officer leaves, but the protagonist finds himself face to face with a man who claims to be Milena's lover. The confrontation turns violent, and a fight ensues. During the scuffle, the officer's wife arrives with the police, accusing Milena of betraying her. A public scene unfolds outside Milena's house, which becomes the talk of the town. The next day, rumors spread throughout the town, and the situation escalates with talk of Milena being sent to jail. This scandal leads to the breakdown of Milena's relationships. Desperate, she seeks legal help from a powerful man in town, and, despite the lawyer's ulterior motives, he agrees to take on her case in exchange for favors. As time goes on, Milena's life continues to spiral. One night, after an altercation with a man, she ends up dancing with him. However, the situation takes a dark turn as he forcibly attacks her. She is left feeling helpless and trapped. In the meantime, Milena's lawyer becomes a regular presence in her life, offering her some comfort, though it's clear his interest is motivated by more than just legal concern. The lawyer sees the financial benefits of helping her, as she is desperate for money, especially given the widespread hunger in her town. A few days later, Milena's mother visits her, fully aware of the strain between Milena and her daughter-in-law. Her mother harshly criticizes her son for his involvement with Milena, blaming him for tarnishing their family's reputation. This leads Milena to sever ties with her family. As her mother's harsh words sting deeply, she begins to understand that society only views her as a commodity. Her body is the only thing that matters to people. In an attempt to take control of her life, Milena changes her appearance, cutting her hair and adopting a fresh look. The new Milena catches the attention of everyone in town, and she quickly becomes the center of attention. As she walks through town, she sees the men eagerly flocking to her, offering her cigarettes. The attention is overwhelming, but it's clear that it's not out of respect, it's driven by desire. Despite the attention, Milena soon realizes that when she was trying to maintain her dignity, no one cared. But now that she is willing to trade her body for favors, she is suddenly of great interest. The men surrounding her treat her with a mixture of admiration and objectification. Meanwhile, the women of the town begin to see her as a threat and a symbol of everything they despise. Days pass, and Milena's reputation continues to grow. She becomes a prominent figure in the town, though not for the reasons she would have hoped. The protagonist's obsession with her intensifies, and his mind becomes consumed with thoughts of her. He becomes increasingly detached from reality, spiraling into madness. Eventually, his mother takes him to a doctor, hoping to find a solution to his deteriorating mental state. The doctor advises that the only way for him to heal is to experience life and break free from his obsession. Meanwhile, Milena's reputation reaches new heights as the town celebrates the downfall of those who had previously cast her aside. In a shocking twist, a group of women in the town, who have long been oppressed, plan to take action against the women who have resorted to selling their bodies. They intend to expel them from their homes and teach them a lesson. This marks the beginning of an unsettling chapter for the town as everyone struggles with their own personal demon. The women of the town break into the brothel and drag the prostitutes out by their hair, tearing their clothes in the process. They humiliate them in front of everyone, as the entire town watches in disgust. Milena is their prime target, and they mercilessly cut her hair as a symbol of their power and control. Despite the onlookers, no one steps in to save her. The men, who once admired her, now revel in her humiliation. After this brutal act, Milena is forced to leave the town, fleeing with nothing but her broken spirit. A few days later, a man arrives in town, and it turns out to be none other than Milena's husband. It's revealed that during the war, he went missing in action and was later declared dead by the military. Milena's husband, now a war veteran, returns to find his home taken over by refugees. As he investigates, he discovers the truth about what happened to his wife during his absence. He is devastated to learn that the very people he fought for were the ones who abused his wife. Filled with sorrow and anger, Milena's husband searches for her. However, he struggles to confront her, feeling the weight of everything that transpired. One night, he leaves a letter on his bed, revealing that Milena had always been faithful to him, but circumstances forced her into a life she never wanted. The letter also mentions that she disappeared after taking a train from the military camp, and he hasn't heard from her since. Determined to find his wife, Milena's husband sets out for the city. After several days, the town is bustling with activity, but all eyes are drawn to a familiar figure, Milena. Her husband has returned, and with great respect, he walks through the town with her by his side. The townspeople are shocked by his courage, as it takes a lot of strength to defy the judgment of the town. One day, as Milena goes to the market to buy vegetables, she encounters the women who once humiliated her. Surprisingly, they greet her with respect, even saying good morning. This small gesture of kindness makes Milena stop and reflect. She responds politely, realizing that maybe, just maybe, things could return to normal. After completing her shopping, Milena heads home, but as she walks, a few flowers fall from her bag. A man nearby quickly rushes to pick them up, signaling the possibility of new beginnings and healing in her life. As she gathers her things and prepares to leave, Milena, summoning all her courage, turns around and, with a smile, says thank you through a gesture. The man who helped her nods, and they share a quiet, understanding moment. With this, the story reaches its conclusion. Despite all the ups and downs, Milena learns to regain control over her life and matures through the challenges she faces. The film ultimately reflects on the societal views towards women and their struggles for respect and dignity. And that brings us to the end of today's recap of Milena, The Silent Struggle. What a ride it's been, diving deep into the emotional roller coaster of Milena's life. From moments of heartbreak to sheer determination, this story truly shows the strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. It's a story that reminds us all of the importance of standing up for what's right and finding our own path, no matter the obstacle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to No Cap Movie Recap, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest movie recaps coming your way. That way, you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, your comments and feedback are always appreciated. Feel free to drop your thoughts on the movie or any suggestions for future recaps in the comments below. Until next time, keep watching, keep learning, and as always, keep enjoying the magic of cinema.